Hello, hello, hello. What is up? We have another fight breakdown that we're going to do. This one's a bit different because it's not a normal situation. It's a 3v1. And typically, probably just because like I'm bad, I don't know. But typically you're not going to win a 3v1 unless everything works out to your favor. So that's why this one's interesting, because this one was winnable, but it's one of those things that everything has to be executed perfectly. And so I figured it'd be fun to just kind of talk about how just kind of where this one went wrong. And so yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So we're on World's Edge. This is very last circle, right? So it's closing in. We're on top of this roof, and I know for a fact that all three of them are in this direction over here. So what I'm trying to do is I just ran up to the top of this roof because they know where I'm at. They're pushing me, so they know that I'm here. But our goal is going to be getting as much damage as we possibly can to them as they're pushing us, as well as just kind of seeing where they're at. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of tell you guys what's going through my mind as we play through this once, and then we'll go back through it and I'll break it down. All right. So here, like I said, we're looking for them. Right, we're looking for the push. Got one over here to the right. I believe that was the fuse. By the way, it's a fuse, Gibraltar, and a Mirage. So just to kind of give you an idea of the abilities that we're looking out for. So I saw over there that I missed a lot of shots, and I saw this person climb up here. So I smoked this out so I could focus attention here. Like I said, I'm trying to take advantage of all the areas that I have, because if he's running the low ground here and I smoke this out, that's going to give me time to do some damage here. By the time I have to reload and this person gets a shot on me, I can be over here reloading. So that's kind of why I smoked there. So then two of them poked up there, so I had to back off, and I also had to heal. And so with the thing that, with it being a fuse, one thing that we know is that we're not going to be able to hold doors or honestly to stand still at all. If we're next to a window or a door, he can push us out of any spot at all. So we have to keep that in mind. And you'll see that when I'm on the staircase here. So right here, I'm on the staircase. He already shot a knuckle cluster at me. So I know I can't stand on that door. So I have to go down the stairs.
Use that master motherfucker.
So then I smoked there too, so they can't, because I know they can shoot through that window, so they can't just take shots through that. And at this point, I figured one of them would have been on that door. And so, honestly, they weren't pushing me as aggressive as I thought they were. So, kind of just, honestly, too, I can tell right now that I'm panicking a little bit. You know, and that's one of those things that if you start panicking, then it just makes it tougher on yourself. Trying to suppress with nades. Popped off the roof.
Oh god! What is going on?
Tell you the truth, I'm not sure why we jumped down there.
Or what?
Yep. I don't know why we jumped down there. We honestly should have held high ground a little bit more. We'll get into more to that. Holding this door through the ult. Try to back him up a little bit. I know I gotta play the door here. I know this is a decoy. I think I was contemplating whether I was gonna go upstairs or not. Got a knock. Now I know if I can wrap this corner, I'm gonna get a battery off. But right there, I heard the bubble, and I hear a Gibby res. So now I'm looking to get the re-knock, switch my massive, no ammo, and now I'm in the open. So,
good.
Pretty easy to know where I went wrong here. Just to bring this back to where we started. Okay, right here. So we're on the roof. I'm gonna slow this down just so I can control it. So we're on the roof. I'm making sure that I'm trying to see where they're coming from. So I checked over here because I know that they actually started over here on top the center of this building here. So they're at the top of this building. So I was checking here to make sure that they weren't trying to get multiple angles on me. And so that's why I'm looking over here. And then we turn back. See him at this building. I see a fuse running down that alley. So right here, let's pretend that I'm hitting every shot, right? My goal here is to do as much damage as humanly possible to these guys as they're coming in. That way, once it comes into a 1v1 with them, like, I should have the advantage on health, you know? So that should be the mindset on any disadvantage, or honestly, any fight at all. But it's so important in this situation. So we didn't do any damage for hardly at all. So I know that he's in this area, so I wanted to smoke this out so he wasn't just getting free damage on me. And I also saw over here on this ledge that somebody's climbing up. So there they are. I got a little distracted by two of them. Like I said, I'm panicking a little bit here. But I got two here, do some damage. In this situation, we have to heal. So playing the staircase because Fuse is using his knuckle clusters. Clearing the room. Alright, so right now we're smoked out, right? So we can't see anything. I know that there's a fuse, there's a Gibby, and there's a Mirage. So here's the situation. We're on a rooftop to where there's only one way to get to us. And like there's different ways. I mean, there's different sides of the building they can, but there's only one way to get to us, and that's to climb up. So holding this position, especially since I'm Bangalore and I can smoke things out, and both my weapons have a digi, you know, that's our number one advantage right there. Is that they're climbing up to me at a disadvantage to where they can't see. If they decide to climb up as a team and do that, then that's a little different story. But in this situation right now, holding this roof is the play, is what I believe now. And so you're going to see here that I'm getting shot at and I don't know where from. So then I just start literally throwing every nade I have. And honestly, I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I'm like, one of these has to hit. And if I get one with big damage, and that's my foot in the door. But as you can see as we play, so right here, seeing the shot spray here, I should, especially with the digi threats, I should be working this edge, getting as much damage as I can, saving these nades, because I just threw 3 random nades, you know. Get some damage, they duck over to heal, you know, then use the nades, especially since we're at a disadvantage here. So instead what we decided to do is we decided to slide off the side of the building. There is no logical reason why I did this. You know, I can't tell you, it was just, I was probably getting a little impatient that I didn't have an angle, so I was trying to create an angle, which that doesn't make any sense at all. Like I just said, like, they have to climb up to me. Like, they have to, like, come to me. And so in 10 seconds, I would have had smoke again, you know, and I could have just sat up there and done damage. Potentially, they could have all 3 climbed up at the same time, and not much I can do there. Potentially, I could have slid off and then, you know, got a different angle. But we slid off the building. And so now what this did is now one peeks his head here. Another one pokes his head there. And, like, who knows where the fuse is? The fuse could have climbed up here, you know what I mean, and took my spot. So that would have been a horrible situation, especially since all I have for cover is this car. So we clear the corner, we get a battery off, and then we get to the part where... So we get a knock. Not quite sure where the other teammates are. One's probably up top here, but sounds like he's up top. So that's why I was able to smoke and get a battery off here. But you're gonna hear here in a second how we hear a dome and then we hear a Gibby res.
Give me a sec. Recharge your shield.
Yep, there it is. So I'm hearing that. I know I gotta contest that. But here's the thing. I have not reloaded my Massive yet, and it doesn't have, and just because it's a care package weapon, it does not have the magazine to where it's gonna auto reload. So I'm literally, let's think about this. That's a Gibby res, so it's gonna be up instantly. I am, let's see, I have, wow, math is hard. I have like 150, 170 health, so I'm not even full health here, you know. Pushing a fight to where I have a Volt and an unloaded Mastiff against a Gibby and a Mirage. Two, I didn't hear a gold bag, but let's say he had a gold bag. What am I planning to do in here? And I'm rushing out because I'm hearing the res because I think I need to counter the res. And so what I should have done here was potentially hit a med kit, but for sure reloaded the Mastiff. Maybe poked out to see if I could get another knock on that Mirage. If I could have got another knock and maybe a knock on the Gibby, or at least enough damage to where he has to think about healing, then maybe I can hit a med kit. Otherwise, honestly, the med kit is kind of an opportune moment because even if I knocked the fuse and the Mirage was able to res, then he turns invisible. So it's one of those things that gotta definitely monitor my health, but I shouldn't be sticking myself out there like this, and I should definitely not reloading my weapons. So get damage on the Gibby. You're gonna see here, Gibby's cracked, zeros, goose eggs, snowmen. I guess snowman's 8, but anyway, 0. Like this would have been awesome because look, we're full shield still. He hasn't touched us. And you know what I mean? Maybe let's say that we have, because honestly, you know what too? The Mastiff, since it's a care package weapon, every time you load it, it's 2 shells. So it has the what they call that, double shell. That double shell attachment that they used to have, it's still attached on there. So if I were to let it reload once, I have 2 shots. You know what I mean? But right here, I put myself in a situation to where I stick out further.
Last ring's closing.
And now I'm getting team fired from over here. Like, I have no cover. So, honestly, where we were when we hit this battery, because that Gibby poked out. Like, he came to protect. And honestly, right now, Gibby is my biggest threat in this fight because he has the most health, essentially. He's the tougher to put down. Fuse and Mirage, not as much because they don't have the fortified. Should not have jumped out and pulled out like this. But the number one thing is I should have reloaded. So, even in situations where is that we get the battery off. Right? Instantly went for it. Like right now, I could have loaded the Mastiff as I'm running around this corner. You know what I mean? You gotta realize what your equipment's doing. I know that this is pressure and this is heat of the moment and whatnot, but if you can't finish a fight with no ammo. So yeah, that's kind of the main focus here is that make sure you know where your equipment is and make sure you know where your health is. So I could have played this corner very invasively. I could have, because let's see how long it takes for the Gibby to come out. There he is. So, I mean, we could have played the smoke. We could have played that corner. There's the Gibby. He obviously does not see us right now, so we are getting damage on him. So he backed up because he didn't know where we were. Cracked him. Still doesn't know where we're at. If we had 2 shells there, he goes down. We can run back, reload, come back. That Mirage is in full health. You know what I mean? It's not like the Gibby's going to crawl away. So, honestly, here's how it is. Slow down the fights. Even if it's a 3v1, a 6v1, a 10v1, it doesn't matter. Slow it down. There is not a time limit on the race. Or, excuse me. There is not a time limit on the fight. You can't win a fight if you're dead, if that makes sense. So, making sure that you're taking your time. Not taking your time, but using your time efficiently. Making sure your gun's reloaded. Making sure your health is in a good spot. And making sure you're not over peaking. Ultimately, though, not having that Mastiff, this is a game to where I was not playing the best, right? You could tell when they were coming at me, like I was missing a lot of shots. So I'm not saying that the things I just brought up are a guarantee win, so to speak, but these are very basic fundamentals that probably costed me the match more than anything. So 3v1ing is tough anyway. 3v1ing is not an easy thing. Like there is not a YouTube video that's going to teach you how to 3v1 because every scenario is different. You gotta be able to, you have to play this game enough to where you have to be able to adapt to what the surroundings are and how the situation is. So I don't know. I'm not going to say that if you lose a 3v1 that you're trash. I'm just going to say that you should really focus on the basics and then let the basics just kind of become instinct, and then who knows where you go from there. So that's where we're gonna leave it, and that's kind of the main point I want to make is make sure you know where your equipment is, make sure you know where your health is, you gotta reload. You can't win fights without reloading. So, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. I'll see you guys in the next one.